Welcome back to Newsmax Prime. As was mentioned earlier, the business relationship between Donald Trump and Macy's has been severed, with both parties claiming it was they who cut the ties. Whatever the case, Donald Trump is unfailingly outspoken. I recently had the chance to sit down with him for an exclusive one-on-one interview, and we talked about a wide array of topics, both domestic and international. In our segment tonight, he talks about our foreign policy, how he would defeat ISIS, and how to rebuild our infrastructure here at home. You said in your announcement, correct me if I'm wrong, but you're going to self-finance your campaign. You're not looking for help. Have people started writing you checks anyway?
Yes, they have. They want to do it anyway. But essentially, I'm self-financing. I don't want anybody's money. But a lot of people are sending in money because they like my message. Essentially, they're tired of being ripped off. And with me, we're not going to be ripped off anymore. We're paying Iran hundreds of billions of dollars. Okay, you know that, right? Right now. Why do we hold those payments until such time as the nuclear deal is done? Because we have people that are incompetent. Everything about our country and our representatives seems to be incompetent.
Let's continue on the Middle East situation. You said you would defeat ISIS in your opening statement.
I would.
What would you do to do that? Does that include American boots on the ground back in Iraq?
First of all, the Kurds have to be brought into it because they're good fighters and we treat them terribly. And they're the ones that really seem to be the ones that fight. I would attack the oil. I would take away their source of power. I would take away their source of wealth. You will defeat ISIS.
When you say take away the oil?
Take away the oil.
And by military presence going in and taking over the refineries?
I would bomb the hell out of it. I'd bomb them. And by the way, you can rebuild that very quickly. When you get the Exxons of the world, they can rebuild very quickly. But I would take away their wealth. They are very wealthy. They're building a hotel in Syria. A hotel. They're competing with me. They're building a hotel in Syria. I don't think I'm going to be staying there. I don't think I want to. And you don't want to either, by the way. But they're actually building a hotel and they're wealthy. You know where they're wealthy? From the oil. Now, they get donations. I would cut that off. I would find out whoever gives donations, those are the enemy. And they're coming out of Saudi Arabia and other places. But I would absolutely cut off their source of wealth, which is the oil. I would bomb the hell out of them.
Okay, as commander-in-chief, you would have a massive aerial assault. But in military terms, you just can't do it by air power alone, can you?
I would look at it very carefully. We have other people involved. You do have some great fighters with the Kurds, and they're the ones that really do seem to be the fighters, and they know what they're doing. But they don't have the equipment. We're giving our equipment to people that run every time a bullet gets fired. So I would look very strongly at doing what I said, and I think we would win and win quickly. We all have strengths and weaknesses. My strength is I'll make this country so strong and I'll create jobs like nobody else can. Nobody can create jobs like I do. And I'll strengthen up our borders. And I'll be big with the vets, and I'll be big with the military. Because our military is treated badly, and our vets are treated horribly. Our vets are treated like third-class citizens. I mean, they're treated literally like third-class citizens. And we can't let that happen.
Well, now there's a situation. Top executive from Procter & Gamble goes over to run the VA, and the problems remain the same.
He's been stymied. He's been stymied at every corner. They're using the wrong systems, and I would know how to clean it up. Look, you know, we go and build a hospital. A hospital costs $1 billion. And I can build a building down the street for 1/10 the cost. Look what I did at the Woolman skating rink years ago. Look what I did recently in New York. 30 years they've been building this project in the Bronx. I took it over, and I got it built like in a matter of months, very quickly. I know what I'm doing. Our country has a tremendous infrastructure problem. We have to build, and that also creates jobs. That's a really good situation, because if you know what you're doing. Now, at the same time, you don't want to build a road for $1 trillion if you can build it for $1 million. But that's the way the government works. It wouldn't work that way with me. So I think I'm resonating for those reasons, and those are important reasons. I'm a job-creating dream. What I do is I'd make sure that we have a system in place that lets us get the best bids. I would generally bid out to contractors. I hate seeing government projects where you have government employees doing it. I would bid out. I'd have a great system of bidding. I'd also create an award system. I sometimes don't give to the lowest bidder. You know, when I give, I'm building the old post office. I'm building a great hotel on Pennsylvania Avenue in Washington. I didn't always give to the lowest bidder. Because sometimes I'd have a bidder that was low, but I know he's no good. I know he's a big extras guy. I know he's going to try and rip me off in the end. And I'll give to a guy who's actually a little bit higher, but in the long run, he's a much better contractor, and it'll end up being much cheaper. Right now, you have to give to the lowest bidder and the lowest bid. And, you know, the plans are so important. There's so many things that go into it to do it right. But we will devise a system where we get our infrastructure rebuilt, where we create jobs, and it gets done at a reasonable cost.
Another subject Donald Trump did not shy away from is his competition in the Republican field, or as you will see tomorrow night, the lack thereof.
That's not the kind of guy you want, because you know where his heart is. But he only did that because he dropped like a rock in the polls. I don't think, look, I don't want to say anybody's overrated, but this is not the next Ronald Reagan, okay?
Find out who he's referring to in the next installment of our Candid Conversation tomorrow night, right here on Newsmax Prime. Stay with us.